So I woke up the next day, and I was aware, as soon as I woke up, I was aware that something transpired the night before. It was fresh in my mind. I was aware of it. I was shaken over it. I was very, very shaken, very shocked, but not frightened. But I was pretty shaken up. And so what happened? I was aware of the fact that I was lying in my bed, and I was aware that I'd been dreaming something. And I was in my bed. I was dreaming. I'm out. And then all of a sudden I'm aware that I'm standing in this room. Just like that, I'm out of my bed and I'm in some kind of room, some kind of a building or some room. I don't remember the walls as clearly. I remember there was something unusual, blue glowing walls, or something very unusual. And I remember meeting with this man who had larger eyes. He's a Zeta human hybrid. I don't want to drop names in this video because then people start it becomes a bit of a cult culture, kind of like we tell us more about that being. Let's keep names out for now and stick to the experience. So this man, he's running this ship, and he says to me, "You're ready? We've got to go help them." And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm dreaming this. I'm sure I'm dreaming this. And he just looks at me. And I've noticed that I'm in another clothing. I'm not in the clothing I went to bed in. My room is sometimes cold. Well, in England in the winter time, well, it's about 8 or 9 months out of the year it's cold here. So you're going to bed wearing beanie caps or what. You're always going to bed wearing a lot of stuff, unless you've just got a lot of money and you want to really warm that house right up. It's usually below zero 6 months out of the year. On occasion you get warm for a few months, sunny weather, people wear shorts, but 3/4 of the year it's cold. So I notice I'm not wearing all my warm stuff. And then the next thing I know, there's this we're going someplace else. He says we're going to another galaxy, and he tells me it's very far away, millions of light years. I don't remember the galaxy at this point. And there were some women, there were men there. They were all Sasani. They were hybrid people. There were blonde people there, and everybody was wearing uniforms. We were all in these, I think they were blue uniforms. There was triangles on them, and they told me very little in that respect. It was kind of like, you're here, and then one of them says solar wardens, and just kind of like nodding head, letting me know this is part of that. And the next thing I know, I felt a burning, tingling sensation all over my body. In fact, all over the entire vehicle. It's a vehicle I'm in, some kind of a ship. And there's this long, I look up, there's this long, narrow window that looks out into presumably space, stars or whatnot. The Earth gradually pulls away from one side very quickly. So this is something moving away from the Earth, looking that direction. A port, kind of like stern, this is a port. This is kind of like a viewer port. This is looking, so as the Earth is passing from view behind me, this is something that's got a lot of power. And because it can move very quickly. And I'm immediately aware that we don't have anything on Earth that moves quite that fast. And any rocket program, International Space Station, Soyuz rocket, Space Shuttle, and nothing. And I just had a sense as what I was standing, there was gravity. I had a sense of a great deal of, you ever been in a fast car? You know it's fast. You ever been in an airplane? You can feel the power of the vehicle as it takes off. You just feel it in your feet. This is a powerful vehicle. These are powerful engines lifting you into the air. You can feel that airplane when it takes off. Move through your body. This is a powerful machine. Boeing 777. This had the same sense. This was something very powerful. And for it to move that quickly from view of the Earth, you just had a sense that this is kind of like the feeling you get when you're about to go on a fast ride at Disneyland or Six Flags or a carnival. You know you're in for a ride. And before I could do anything, or sit down, or get into a strap, or take a seat, the next thing I know, as I said, there was a burning sensation, a tingling sensation that ran up and down my body until I know the walls themselves became electrical or staticky. There was a staticky sensation. If you've ever had ion shock, or you've ever had that cold sensation. And then we're moving fast. And this thing is moving very fast. As I understand, through research and whatnot, this is when your body is becoming photons, you're becoming light. Your mass is now being reduced to zero. As you become photons, you become light. And so the vehicle is, we've transformed into light at this point. And this burning sensation is uncomfortable. It's very almost frightening. It's very disconcerting. It's extremely disconcerting. I would liken the experience to H.G. Wells' The Time Machine. You ever read the book, or you ever seen the movie where actor Rod Taylor sitting in that time machine and the sun is streaking overhead. He becomes aware of the fact the Earth is spinning very fast. And even in the book, it was frightening. H.G. Wells was a brilliant fiction author. Well, I'm not bringing you fiction. This is an experience that I allege to have had. You don't have to believe this, okay? And I had to kind of stop myself from going into a panic attack, because I'm aware of the fact this thing is accelerating very quickly. I feel very light. I don't have a solid mass. Now that there's anybody in the vehicle, we've all become kind of translucent. That was also disconcerting, that we've all become very cloudish or translucent. And I know that we're accelerating, and you can feel, I can't describe the sensation of acceleration to that speed. We were moving perhaps beyond the speed of light. In fact, I think the question, and I get the answer, yes, from one of them who's piloting this thing. And the vehicle, I believe, was triangular shaped. And one of them is telling me, yes, we're moving thousands of times faster than the speed of light. And so this was actually pretty frightening. There's a huge roar. I'm not sure where it's emanating from, but there's a roar within my ears. Kind of a and the louder it gets, the more I feel my body being stripped away atom by atom by atom. And I don't know if I'm just gonna be pulled apart. We're gonna be pulled torn to thunder in a nanosecond. Atoms smashed across the cosmos at this point. We're going so fast. And there's a blur out the window. There's a rainbow of light. You don't see stars streaking by. I didn't see that. It was just a rainbow of pushing past this window. And you're shaking. There's a shaking sensation, a vibration. And if you've ever seen the movie Contact with Jodie Foster, where she's going through the Stargate, it was much, much, much more intense than their special effects, and their wormhole that she goes through was pretty frightening for the audience. She used the term virulent. It was a very virulent experience. And we arrived. There's a slowing. And all at once, you feel yourself becoming mass. And we're back in our blue uniforms in a physical room. And I just had to keep telling myself, just stay, don't think about it, don't give it a thought, don't think about it. This could be a dream. This could be a dream. And there's a triangle on my uniform. I'm in this blue uniform. I'm standing with blonde people, other races, and then we go off to this world. And we go down to this planet where these beings are there. I can't really describe it. I don't have a clear recollection of what they look like. I don't know if they're humanoid. They're maybe I want to see humanoids. I don't know. Maybe it's what I'm being made to look. I don't know. I don't remember what they look like. And so they're shorter than me. For some reason, I'm thinking something. I hate to keep throwing fictional movies at you, but I don't know. I don't have a frame of reference. So if you've ever seen the movie The Dark Crystal, and you ever seen those creatures called the podlings, not the gelflings, but the podlings, something a bit taller than that, with tiny eyes, and we were helping them, saving their world from a disaster or something. I don't know exactly if it was a natural disaster. I don't remember very clearly at this point. And we were on the surface of this world. We were helping them, and we helped them. And then it was time to go. And this black-haired male hybrid being piloted this thing, and I was like, the triangular craft flew over, and it was time to go. And I thought, well, this is a pretty incredible dream. Be good to, wouldn't want to wake up here. I kind of joked and thought, I don't want to wake up here. I might not be home. Good to help you people. They understand us through some kind of technology or translator or something. It was something pretty common. It wasn't any big deal. But we're not in our galaxy. We're in another galaxy. And so we boarded this thing. We got back in it, transported back into this thing, and in reverse. It happens in reverse. We became that light. We became turning into light was a strange experience. And the next thing I know, again, we're going back here to this galaxy, back to my planet, Earth, rather. And I don't know if the others are taken back to their planets, or if in fact they live there. There seems to be kind of those who do and those who don't. For some reason, they can't do it on their own. So everybody has their own special talent and skill that makes them unique, that they can bring to a mission. And so they bring this to a mission, and they help other entities, races, and beings out. Everything is quite interesting by design, because if I walked down the street and they were to just kind of pick me up, alleging this is a real experience and not just some very strong lucid dream, the question and the answer on that was that if we just pick you right up off the road and take you and drop you off, like anybody on earth, you're going to talk about it. You're going to be saying it in those timeline of events. You're going to be saying it. The most important reason why you're taken from a bedtime experience while you're sleeping is for that reason right there, is because it's very critical, very crucial to try to leave us living in our world here on earth with some without becoming too incredulous. In other words, I could become too incredulous if I were to say, well, I was picked up in the forest and they took me and we had this mission and I'm a solar warden officer with these beings, these aliens, then that's so incredulous that you're going to have a net thrown over your head. And this could still do that to me, just talking about this. So I am encouraged to share it in exactly the way I experienced it, which is to say that I went to bed one night, and then this happened, and then this happened. So it's very important. So it is a handicap to live on Earth, because while you can have incredible recordings and pictures to kind of back up your experiences with these beings, non-human beings, you can also find yourself running into some problems if you're not careful. You can run into some pretty serious problems. While I can say that, there's it's not a quarantine. It's just that there are things that they can't do. There are limitations to that they can allow to happen. If somebody else is having another kind of experience where it's a little more involved in that, then good for them. That's them. But an active participant in something like this is having this experience. From my end of it, this is what happened. And like I said, it's a very jarring, almost terrifying experience to go that fast and become light, become energy, and then beam off out of the galaxy. Thousands of times the speed of light. It's actually quite. It's something you have to do. Okay, I can't really explain this. I can imagine it putting someone into cardiac arrest if you have a bad heart. Hold on to your butts. You're in for one hell of a ride. And they got there very quickly. It didn't take forever to get there. It wasn't like it took a long while. It was a very short trip. And apparently somehow they know when somebody's in trouble places far away. Now, how that's known is interdimensionally. You can send communication interdimensionally. I don't know. And then this is relayed back and forth, and so then the others know. There are those who are part of a program or part of these experiences. They're part of a wider community of beings, and not just this galaxy, but neighboring galaxies. So our Sasani, the hybrid human Zeta, human people, are in fact involved in matters that are very universal, intergalactic. That means beyond the galaxy, out there. If you take this as real, and if I sit here and take it as real, or is it just a very powerful, lucid experience? I don't have these often. This isn't something that comes up, and it was very methodic. There's a lot more detail in this. this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. And that's my video. So, solar wardens, participant phenomena, UFO abduction participant phenomena, experiencer video.